Are you looking for a podcast about motherhood with a unique perspective? This is Jen Banks, the host of A is for Adversity, a weekly podcast that takes you on an alphabetized journey with a common theme for each season. Season 6 will be focused on identity. Join me and a variety of guests every Thursday as we talk about our identity within motherhood through the lens of adversity. You can also find all previous episodes of A is for Adversity right here on Ride the Wave Media.
Hey, this is Sarah Albert with Daybreak Treasures Boutique. I would like to talk about some events coming up. So we are going to be having some paint nights at Novell Daybreak Apartments, 10678 South Lake Run Road in South Jordan on Tuesday nights from 5:30 to 8, starting on January 9th and going through January 30th, Tuesday nights. 5:30 to 8. You can sign up by going to daybreaktreasures.com, art workshops, and book your spot.
The following program is powered by Ride the Wave Media.
Introducing the best podcast in Utah, Radio Daybreak. Here are your hosts, Just Plain and Bex.
Oh yes, Happy New Year, happy 2024. We're here, we made it.
We did. Happy 2024, y'all.
First show of the year. What about your New Year's resolutions? Did you make any resolutions, Bex?
I didn't this year, Blaine. How about you? Or do you jump into New Year's resolutions every year? I don't think we even talked about it.
I really don't. You know what? I really don't, because I don't like giving myself that deadline. So if I have a resolution, it just starts whenever. It might start in October. It might start in July. So that's how I kind of roll.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I think you and I mean, as far as the podcast goes, like, we really sat down and dug deep and dove in clear back in October. So, I mean, some of those intentional things that we've set into and the business side of things, like, yeah, we're already running it.
I'm excited now, because now Ride the Wave Media is in full effect.
I'm so excited.
This is our first show on Ride the Wave Media right now.
Yes.
And our first guest is Jen Banks from A is for Adversity. That's a show right here you can find on Ride the Wave. She's got a unique way she's been doing this podcast.
Yeah.
It's a cool, fun theme. You know about it, Bex, right?
Oh, yeah, she really does. So I don't want to give it away, because we're actually going to jump in and talk to Jen about the reasoning behind her podcast name. But yeah, let's just dive in and chit chat with her. Welcome to the show, Jen.
It's such an honor to be here. I love that we have connected and that we're all able to meet here in the studio. It feels surreal.
It's fun. Well, it is kind of surreal. It's virtual, so we're in a different world now. Like, this is.
Thank goodness, Blaine, because I got to call out. You actually had a cold this last week, so if you're hearing a little raspiness in Blaine's voice today, it is because he does have a cold. So
that's true. It is. And I'm actually not here. This is actually AI, Blaine. So this is.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's how advanced we are. This is 2024 now, guys. Like, it's 2024. We are advanced. We're taking off. Okay, let's get back on track. Goodness.
No glitches either. I mean, you're looking good over there, Blaine. You look real natural. You're not doing the robotic movements.
Thank you. Jen, you've joined us in chaos here, so we're sorry already.
I'm sorry, Jen. It's a good thing she knows us personally.
That's true. Look, Jen is one of my favorite people that we met last year back at the Daybreak networking events, hosted by Sarah Albert, and now we're all co-hosts of those events. I learned about her podcast early on. I learned about it when me and Bex put out a couple episodes of our podcast, and we had some other people who were upset about that podcast, but not Jen Banks. Jen Banks reached out because she knows the rule here is the people at the bottom are competing and the people at the top are collaborating. And she reached out and she wanted to collaborate, and I'm happy. I've welcomed her, because I've got to brag on one thing for her.
Yeah, let's hear it.
She did 134 episodes by herself.
Jen,
by herself.
My word. Congrats, girl. That's amazing.
Look at this. Listen to this. 44% of all podcasts only make it 3 episodes.
3 episodes, yeah. It's wild. That was like the perfect segue, because I've been dying to actually ask her what her name means. And Blaine, I know that you know a little bit more about Jen than I do. So Jen, that's actually going to be the first question, how we're going to kick you off. Tell me about your name, a little bit about your podcast, a little bit about you, what you want our listeners to know. But tell me about that name.
Yes. So I am a huge quote collector. I love inspiration. I feel like people can say it better than I can, and I just lean on other people's words all the time for motivation and encouragement. And so ever since I was 12, I collected these quotes and I put them in a journal, and I would just gather them. Well, I separated them by topic and used the letters of the alphabet to break down those topics. And so A was adversity, B was BU, C chasing meaning, all the way down to Z. And that kind of became the basis of my episodes. So I would use each letter for an episode. And then once I got to Z, I decided that I really loved podcasting, and I just kept going with season after season. And yeah, it's all about consistency, because I felt like with growth, it was just a matter of when, not if, as long as I stuck to it and found advice or pivoted along the way, that something would happen. So here we are.
You stuck with it. You overcame adversity to continue this podcast.
Yeah.
What season are we on tomorrow? Tomorrow is your debut episode on Ride the Wave Media. What season is it starting tomorrow?
Yes, season 6 tomorrow.
Insane.
Wow.
6. So if you look right now, all 5 seasons are already up on Ride the Wave Media. You can go listen to all those now. And you can see how unique this is, because she does take you through 26 letters of the alphabet. There's 26. My education's it's been a while since I was in school. So are there 26 letters?
Yes.
So she takes you through all 26 letters of the alphabet and ties it to the episode. So tomorrow's debut episode for season 6, we got, who is it? Anna Palmer, I believe, is going to be the guest.
Yeah. So I changed topics every season, and, I was just kind of trying to find my voice, my niche. And now season 6 will be all about identity. And Anna Palmer is my therapist, actually, and she taught me a lot about identity and just our inherent lens and our derived lens, and just what it means to be an individual, and kind of how to find ourselves under all the hats that we wear and those types of things. And so as I've gone on this journey myself, I've found other people who are along this journey of maintaining their identity through motherhood, through parenthood, throughout whatever life is thrown at them.
Now check this out, though. Season 6, we're doing 2 letters each. So it'll be 2 A's, 2 B's, 2 C's. So Jan's going to be year-round now. Jan Banks is going weekly.
She's doubling up.
Year-round.
Yes.
Get excited.
I am so excited. Well, congratulations. That's absolutely amazing. I want to touch gears a little bit, because, and this is a question I like to ask our female entrepreneurs. How did you get started? What advice would you have for other females who are looking to start a podcast? It's not easy. And I think you hit the nail on the head when you said consistency. But what advice, first off, would you offer other females who are looking to get in this industry, or female entrepreneurs in general?
Yeah, that's a great question. I feel like I had a friend point out a phrase that I really love, and she said, "Jen, you're not afraid of the messy middle."
Ooh.
And I just love that, because the middle is so messy. You don't know everything. You don't know what it's going to look like or how it's going to turn out, but you do it anyway. You just go and you follow your light and whatever calls to you, and you just do it. I have a friend that, she waited for years to start a business, and she's even now kicking herself for not starting sooner, and that's what I hear a lot is, oh, I should have started this sooner, and so I don't think you'll regret starting. It might be scary, but I don't think you'll regret it. It comes along the way, and there are reasons in the timing, but it's just neat to see. But yeah, you can't be afraid of the messy middle, or they say you have to suck first to get better, and you just got to move past it.
Yeah. Failure is definitely a big part of growing a business, and, don't let that fear of failure, because you can use it to learn and grow. That's amazing. What an awesome message. I really appreciate that. So powerful. So Jen, love that. Love that advice for, women in business. Being a woman in business, sometimes there are like these crazy moments, these challenging moments or hilarious moments. Do you have anything like that, like a loop-de-loo moment that you would like to share in starting your business?
Yeah, like from the early days. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like in the early episodes, I'd tend to just, really put it all out there. I had a couple pity party episodes saying, oh, I'm going to quit podcasting, or nobody's listening, or nobody cares about this, and I just totally pity partied on the air. And looking back, that is pretty cringeworthy, but I guess I was being real too, it's just some part of me wants to take away those episodes, but then the other part is like, no, look at all this growth over time, and so just realizing that humans are dynamic, that we do change, and just because I said something a while ago or felt a certain way at a different time doesn't mean that's how I feel now, just giving ourselves grace and realizing that it's not going to be perfect at the beginning, and you have to get through a lot before you do sound like you want or what you're working towards. I was talking to another podcaster, and she's really, really, really working on her first few episodes. Even that shows that she's learning from my experience, and so we all just kind of help each other wherever we're at on our journey.
I love that. And I'm going to actually let Blaine speak to this, because Blaine, we had a little bit of a rough go too. And I love the point where, you're talking about you're learning and you're growing, because our podcast has seen that, and we're, 20 episodes in at this stage ish, right around that number.
Oh yeah.
But Blaine and I, what we haven't shared is that we started off like almost, what was it, Blaine? 3 months before we actually went on air.
Yep.
And we had been recording, and then we ran into some hiccups. So I love that message that with business and growth, it's challenging, right? Go ahead, Blaine. Tell him what happened if you're willing to share.
Listen, there were always hiccups. There were always hiccups in this, from A is for Adversity to Radio Daybreak. I'm a professional. I've done 10,000 plus episodes.
Yes.
Apple Music had hiccups. Believe me, we sat there for 40 hours a week, 40 plus a week, for about 6 months before we ever pressed play on Apple Music hits. Yeah. So there's a lot that goes into this. You just got to be consistent, like you said earlier, and really not care. You got to you just put it out, because like you said, our early episodes of Radio Daybreak, awful. I mean, but I'm gonna leave it out there because I like to see that growth. I don't care. That's what we're here for. We're here to grow. If you're at Apple Music all the way to whatever else podcast out there, doesn't matter. Everybody's got hiccups. Fight through it. Fight through the adversities. That's what we're here for, right?
For sure.
So true. Yeah, and I would get discouraged by the slow growth, quote unquote, because it wasn't happening as fast as I expected. But here I am 3 years later, and now I have this collaboration with Ride the Wave Media, and look how it's all turned out. So, it's unfolding beautifully, and as we change our thoughts to reflect that, we're able to take the adversity as it comes.
Hey, let's take a quick break and get a word from our sponsors right here. We'll be right back with Jen Banks, the host of A is for Adversity. I got another big announcement when we come back. Don't go anywhere. It's Radio Daybreak.
Ready to have more energy, fit into your favorite jeans again, and just feel good? Shannon Galladay is here to help you create a healthy lifestyle so you can be your best for the people you love most. Shannon, the founder of Galladay Fit, has over 12 years of experience as a health and fitness coach and a year of experience as a life coach. As a mother of 3 girls who struggled with her weight during pregnancies, she understands what it's like to get her body back after having babies. As a valued listener, you can take advantage of an exclusive offer. Mention this podcast and receive a generous $20 discount on our fitness and nutrition package, plus a free 30-minute life coaching session with Shannon. Whether you want to lose the baby weight, run a 5K race, or just feel better in your clothes, call or text Shannon at 480-823-2595. You can also go to yourwellnesscheckin.com to get Shannon's free checklist and videos to help you start feeling better right away. It's time to start feeling and looking your best so you can take care of the people you love most. Shannon is so welcoming and easy to talk to. I just love interacting with her. I know working with her could be a meaningful experience.
The trumpets have sounded and the end is nigh, but have no fear, your prophet is here. I'm the Fresh King Benjamin, host of Vibing the Apocalypse, a podcast that uses comedy to bring injustices that I went through to light. I'm an escapee from a Mormon polygamous compound in Wyoming. I was taught that the world was a wicked, wicked place. But now that I've escaped, I want you to show me all the wicked things and help me catch up on what I missed out on. Check out Vibing the Apocalypse right here on Ride the Wave Media.
Oh, I'm excited about that one right there. Coming to Ride the Wave Media, it's Vibing the Apocalypse. But I got another big announcement right now.
Yeah.
Jen Banks will be leading our How to Start a Podcast series that we're going to have in 2024. Before the end of 2024, we're going to have a series out, How to Start a Podcast. She's going to be the voice of that for us. Yes.
That is awesome. I didn't even know about this. You guys are surprising me with this news. Congratulations.
Yes. So we're going to help others out there just learn the process.
Oh, that's amazing.
It's going to be awesome. Yeah. Can't wait for that.
Who better you do it, Jen? That's so exciting. Congratulations. Blaine, it looked like you had something to say there. I didn't want to interrupt you.
Yeah, I want to go back to this quote book. How big is this book? Is this multiple books at this point? It's got to be, right? Like this is really intriguing to me because you said you've been doing this since you were 12 years old.
Yes.
That's got to be quite a collection.
It is for sure. Yeah. So I'm on my 3rd volume is what I call them. Volume. Yeah. Oh. And I would love to get it published one day. So that is a little bit of a reason why I started a podcast, because I thought, oh, okay, I'll have a podcast, build some credibility, and then publish a book, and people will say, oh, it's the creator of AS for Adversity. So
I love that. And guess what? I do know some book publishers, so that we could definitely get that in the works, because I'm very intrigued. I would love to see this book. I would have never asked you because I feel like that's a personal thing. So for you to put that out there that's vulnerable. Like that's you putting yourself on display. And we appreciate it. Like, that's going to be amazing when that finally comes out. Can't wait to see that.
Yeah, I tell people sometimes that I'm an open book. I really love to just, share the things that are going on. And I know different personalities are different, but I was thinking that it kind of just depends on who knows me from what context, because something that people may not know about me is I also play the violin.
Oh.
And I have played... I started when I was 7. I would make musical instruments and play them, and my mom finally got me started in lessons. And so I did it all through high school, and it kind of feels like a past version of me. But, it's like riding a bike. You pick it up, and I really do love music. And so that's something that Daybreak residents may not know about me, because it feels like a past life. But something I would love to see in Daybreak are candlelight concerts. Have you guys heard of those?
Yes.
Yeah, it would be so cool to get one in Daybreak. So
cool. Yeah.
Are you volunteering to be you're gonna play the violin for us?
Right, I'd love to. Especially if it was like a quartet or a duet type thing. I feel like I do better in that type of situation. So.
Well, probably not right now, because it's cold outside. There's snow on the ground. Like, this is not the time, right? So we're talking about maybe spring.
They do have indoor ones too, though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We could do that. We could probably pull that off.
Yeah. There
well,
you go.
Jen, what else you got for us? You got anything else you want to share with us? How do we get in touch with you? How do we find the show?
Yeah, so it's wherever you get your podcasts. But yeah, A is for Adversity. Something I forgot to mention too is I am a teacher by nature. I taught 2nd grade. I teach preschool currently. And so that's probably why the alphabet spoke to me, is, that teacher in me. So, but yeah, just wherever you get your podcasts. And I'd love to have you as a listener.
Wow, what an interview. That was Jen Banks, the host of A is for Adversity. It really is quite the feat for her, Bex, that she did all of this herself up until now. Like, it's wild. I don't want to take away from that. I really do admire the effort she's put in. For this has been a couple of years of this. 134 episodes. Tomorrow, debut season 6. That's episode 135.
So
yes, I can't believe that she did all this by herself. She even told us, like she said, there's times even in the episode I was talking about wanting to give up and nobody was listening. They're listening now, Jen. We listened. I love what she's been doing.
Yes, I know. So excited for her. Like, this is so awesome. And for Ride the Wave Media, super excited for you guys and your partnership. All 5 of her seasons can be found, right? Like we talked about that. They can now be found.
All 5 of her previous seasons. And then tomorrow is the debut of the new one, which is it's all about identity. So she's going to talk to a variety of different guests, all about the identity of basically motherhood through the lens of adversity. That's kind of what her show is. Can't wait for that.
And just such a great person. Love her. Absolutely
amazing
excited.
Person. As most of the people here that we've met in Daybreak are. Like, we all got something special going on. She's really got something special. I was behind her before we even talked for the first time. This was back last year. She contacted me, and I've said this before, instead of looking at competition, she wanted to collaborate. And I've always said this, the people at the bottom are competing. The people at the top are collaborating, and that's what we're doing here.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, I was so excited about that, for sure.
Excited about this quote book she talked about. She's been collecting quote books for what? She's got multiple books of quotes that she's been collecting forever.
That's right.
This reminded me of a TV show. And there's an episode of Cheers, and I love Cheers. That's one of my favorite shows. That's one of the best sitcoms right there. But it came from an episode of Cheers where Diane, I don't know if you were familiar with Cheers, but Diane and Sam Malone. Okay,
that's Cheers.
Hey, that's like I said.
When you're my age, our age.
Like I said, it's one of the best shows of all time. Most people have seen it. But there was one, it was called One for the Book. And it was Diane went around, she had this quote book, and she would always hear people say stuff, and she'd write it down. So the big thing with this was Sam, being the egotistical maniac he was, he had to get in that book. So he kept trying to fire off
Oh, I think I remember this. Yes.
And finally,
yes.
he asked her, he says, so you're telling me that I'm too dumb to be in that book? And Diane looks at him and says, Sam, there are a lot of people in this book just as dumb as you are. I always love that. But it made me think. I was like, man, every time I'm around Jen now, I'm gonna be trying to fire off these quotes like Sam, so she'll put me in one of her books. Yeah. But you know what?
Awesome.
This got me thinking about some sitcoms.
Okay, I've seen this look, and I feel like something controversial is about to come out of your mouth.
You're absolutely right. And let me tell you, this is the first show of the year, and this will be the most controversial thing that I say all year right here.
We're only into this week
This
one.
is like 4 days in, but this will be the most controversial thing I say all year. Now, I just said Cheers is one of the best sitcoms of all time, but it's not the best.
Okay.
Friends is the best sitcom of all time.
Always coming.
Friends is. And if you know anything about me, I'm a huge fan of Friends. I mean, look at the titles of our episodes. It's always the one with, the one. That's what we do. That's what Friends did.
We're showing our love
Let me
to
tell
Friends.
you why. Let me talk a little bit about why Friends is the best sitcom of all time. You got 6
let's hear it.
friends who all sit around. They're hilarious. They're relatable. You got Rachel, the spoiled rich girl who learns to make it on her own. You got Ross, the nerdy paleontologist who can't get over his ex-wife. Plural. There's what? Yeah.
Plural.
You got Monica, the obsessive compulsive chef who used to be fat. Everybody makes jokes about.
Poor Monica.
You got Phoebe, quirky masseuse who sings weird songs. Smelly Cat. That's a hit there. Did that win a Grammy? I think that had to have won a Grammy. You got Joey. You got Joey, the dim-witted actor who loves women and food. And then R.I.P. We got Chandler. He was a sarcastic office worker who hates his job, but they're all relatable. That's the thing. They were always there for each other through thick and thin, through breakups, makeups, births, deaths, weddings, divorces, laughs, and tears. They're the kind of friends we all wanted. Like, we all wanted them. Second, let's talk about the humor on the show. Some of the funniest jokes ever. Some of the best jokes you've ever written. There was 10 seasons and 236 episodes, and you laughed in every single one of them. I want to talk about one more thing that makes it the best show of all time.
Okay, let's hear it.
That's the heart.
Oh.
It wasn't just a comedy show. It's not just a comedy show.
Yep.
It's a show that made you feel. It made you feel happy, sad, angry, surprised, scared, excited, nervous, and everything else in between. You felt for these characters. They made you feel like you were a part of their world, their story, their history, their apartment. I mean, close your eyes right now. Everybody out there could close their eyes and picture that apartment.
The door.
So that's it. I just had to say, I had to put that out there, that Friends is the best sitcom of all time. That's the most controversial statement.
I love it.
We'll get a lot
Hey, I'm
of
going to hold you to that. I don't quite believe that that's going to be the most controversial thing that you say all year. But we'll see. We'll see where it goes. Okay, but I have to ask you, Blaine, all that being said about Friends, right? Like, we're huge fans of Friends. Who are you most like? Who do you most relate to?
You know what? That's a tough one. It's probably a mix of a couple characters.
Okay, let's hear it.
Honestly, I've got the quirkiness of Phoebe, so it doesn't have to be a male that we pick here, or it doesn't
I can see it. No.
Quirkiness of that. Got a little fight in me like a Rachel, so there's a little bit of
feistiness in there.
Yeah. And then also, I gotta say, I'd have a lot of Joey in me, and not the women aspect and all that, but the Joey aspect in me would be I don't care. I'm just doing it. I'm doing what I do.
Just kind of roll with it and just super chill. And you know what? You have a big heart. I will say that too. And I feel like absolutely Joey too. And Ross. There's a little bit of that too.
That's true. But you know what? That goes back to my point. They're all so relatable. We all got little pieces of them in all of us. Who are you most like, you think?
I would say probably Monica.
Yeah.
Because, just like her OCD, her cleanliness, her schedules.
I was just thinking that. I was like, oh, yeah.
You've seen my calendar. You've seen my calendar, Blaine. You know what my schedule's like.
I've seen it.
Yeah. A little feistiness and, fun, like Rachel can kind of just go with the flow a little bit that way.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I would say probably the most like them.
I love it. Once again, rest in peace, Matthew Perry. That's so sad.
Yeah.
Listen, on that note, if you need help with anything, go out there and get help. This guy had demons just like all of us, and he had the money to fight it, and you still couldn't fight it. And that's sad. So if you need help out there, if you know somebody needs help, get it for him, please.
Yeah.
You can call the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration at 1-800-662-HELP. 1-800-662-4357. Tomorrow, A is for Adversities, brand new season with Jen Banks. We want to thank her once again for coming on the show with us. It's on Ride the Wave Media. Bex, what does Radio Daybreak have coming up this month on Ride the Wave Media? We got a whole lot of stuff, right?
We sure do, Blaine. We've got so much coming up this month. We have an interview with a witch, a retro gamer.
Oh, right up my alley.
Next week, we have the Fresh King Benjamin coming on.
Oh, I know who he is.
I was just going to say, if you haven't heard of him, you have to come and listen to this amazing, crazy story. He's got so much to talk about, super fascinating. So much to tune in for.
That's going to be amazing. I know a lot about him, and me and him had a very similar growing up, but there is a big time split that happens in that Venn diagram that we were crossed over. We'll get into that. See you guys next week.